Right guys, welcome back to another YouTube. So yeah, today we've got some deadlifts. It's week 1 of this current 4-week block. It's an intro week, it's an easier week of training. So we've not got crazy volume, we've not got crazy heavy weight, and it's just getting the body used to these new movements that are in here before ramping it up in weeks 2, 3, and then 4, which will be the pinnacle before we go back down into an easy week again. So we've got deadlifts, we've got some safety bars, we've got some dumbbell press, and we're going to head down to the Unit Fitness to finish off the session. My current stuff that I've been given from physio, and without like going into complexities, this one's to get everything fired up from my fingertips, wrists, forearms, elbows, biceps, triceps, shoulders. So all the way up to make sure when I'm benching or doing any sort of lifts, everything's doing its job and reducing the risk of pain and injury. And similar sort of thing with the lower body slouching stuff you saw me doing before. The reason why we did it slouching was mainly because the lower back is going to work regardless when we're doing our lifts, such as deadlifts, squats, etc. So the idea is switch the lower back off, slouch completely so the lower back's not doing anything, and then make everything else have to do its job to make sure that's all fired up. So when we do as exercises, the lower back's not overcompensating, it's not doing too much. So that's the idea there. So yeah, we're just trying to get everything fired up at the start with this type of stuff, this weird freaky deaky stuff. And then we get into the more specific warm-ups, which to be honest, kind of just looks like squats and deadlifts before we then squat and deadlift and that type of movement. So I'm continuing on from last time I did a deadlift video. I've changed my technique a little bit off the back of them deficit pause deadlifts. These are, sorry, the deficit pause deadlifts. These now just said the same thing, just emphasize deficit. I'm now doing just pause deadlifts, and then obviously I'm guessing the next block probably just like regular deadlifts. I've got the bar a little bit closer back, closer towards the heel. Still mid-foot, but a bit more heel than what I previously was doing. And pointing my toes out a little bit more. It seemed to feel like in the last couple of weeks doing them deficit pause deadlifts, the bar was directly underneath me more than it ever has been. So I'm going to try and replicate that. Might take a bit of trial and error, but yeah, if you notice me messing about a bit, that's why. We'll see how it feels. Right, so this is either going to be my top single for today, or it's going to be my last warm-up set, I think. So it's supposed to be a single at RP6, meaning I could probably do it for like 5 or more reps. So it's not something that's mega hard. And I want to make sure that I'm not building loads of fatigue this week. This week is for getting rid of fatigue from the last block and just getting used to the new variations. So I'm not going to be a hero. So this is 140 kilos on the bar. This might be the top single, or we might go up, but we'll see. Yeah, that'll do. I always find that it's like, start a new variation, even if it's easier, even though on paper it's an easier variation than the last block, because the last block I just did deficit ones where I'm stood on 1.5 inch of mats, and this I'm doing it off the floor. So technically it's easier because it's off the floor, so there's less range of motion. It just feels alien. So fucking weird. Just for context, last week I think I had like 5 sets of 3. Yeah, I had 5 sets of 3. And it was like 80% of the reps felt bang on. And my last set, best set, 3 of them felt ace, 2 of them felt perfect. Like, I don't feel like I couldn't have been better. Whereas out of the reps I've done so far, 1 of them felt as good as one of them 80% reps from last week. Felt like all right, 1 of them. And the rest felt a bit like, oh, fuck it, I don't know how to deadlift. Oh yeah. Tasty. Yeah. I think the range of motion is a bit more than what I've been doing in previous weeks. Obviously I've been doing these in the gym in the previous week, so just getting it right. Different safety bar, different height, I think. It feels disgusting. Right, focus on these is, I'm trying to, if you'll notice, I'll get in position and then I'll push myself further up the bench. And what I'm doing when I do that is, I push myself up the bench and it helps drag my shoulders down and back, and it helps lift my rib cage and my chest up, which puts my shoulders in a safer position to press from. I'll have a bit of an arch, I'll engage my lats and my upper back, and I'll basically just lock in, I'll just press up and down. Is it best for bodybuilding? Maybe, maybe not. Is it good for powerlifting or just getting stronger, building muscle generally and keeping your shoulders healthy? I'd say yes. Now we're going to go finish the session down at the Unit Fitness. So we've got landmine lateral lunge, 3 sets of 5 each leg, which if I'm being honest, probably going to do them body weight to start with this week, because my lateral hip injury that I had about just over a year ago, I can feel my hip a little bit, just after doing them safeties, them deadlifts and them safety squat good morning. So gonna not go too crazy with that, my glutes taking a bit of a beating. So got them. Then we are going to do leg extensions, 3 sets, 12 to 15, and there should be RP 8. So yeah, that's what we've got left. Nice and easy session, nothing crazy. I must admit, them safety squat good mornings were they were hard today. I worked up to 90 kilos last week for 4 sets of 6, and today just on what I think was either 60 or 65 kilos. Felt way harder. And I think I was doing a bit more range of motion. I'm also not entirely sure how heavy that bar is that I've got. The bar at the gym for safety bars is 30. I'm presuming that one at home is 20, 25. So anyways, first week of the block, easy money.